Nice, sweet. I think I'm frozen. Hello, my sweet soul sisters and brothers. Mindy Arbuckle here today to share with you an experience that I had last night that I feel like we can all relate to, and we've all been through, and what to do about it. So, last night, as many of you can probably relate to, I had a midnight freak out. Now, my freakouts they're all relative, right? It's just like you waking up in the middle of the night, worrying, thinking about something that you really don't want to be thinking about, but somehow it's still right there at the forefront of your mind. And what the heck are you going to do with it? Are you just going to allow it to keep you awake and keep you in a mode of stress all night? Been there, done that too. Or are you going to take the reins of your mind and really work with it so that you can move through that energy and reframe it so that you are feeling better and you actually get to sleep? Okay, so these freakouts in the middle of the night, I would love to hear what your freakouts are. Do you wake up in the middle of the night worrying about money? Do you wake up in the middle of the night going over a conversation that you had earlier in the day and you're still playing it on repeat because it didn't go the way you really wanted it to? Do you have anxiety over like small things that aren't really very important, but somehow they're coming up for you? Do you have anxiety about your children? Are you worrying about, your job? Are you worrying? What are you worrying about? I would love for you to share that with me in the comments so that I can really help to understand where you're coming from and help you relate to what's going on in your life. So, last night, it was work related for me. And I don't need to share all the details, but basically, I just don't feel like my business is where I want it to be. And I feel like I'm doing all the right things and I'm aligning with the spirit, I'm aligning with the universe, and the results are just not coming. And so, man, I just kept wondering, why me? Why is this happening to me? Why are all these other people in my tribe having such great success? They're not as aligned as I am. Like, you know how your mind works in the middle of the night. Sometimes it's a little judgy and sometimes it's just observations, okay? So what do you do? What do you do when you wake up in the middle of the night and you cannot get your mind to quiet down on its own? That's what we're going to talk about today. The primary thing that you have to do is shift your focus. Okay? So, yes, your mind wants you to just be in pity party and why me and freak out mode. And it puts you into this negative downward spiral of low vibe emotions and they just suck you down. The only way that you're going to get out of those low vibe emotions is if you step it up and you purposefully reframe what you're going through. Now, a lot of times I do this in a couple of distinct ways. I can do this in bed, just lying down and like having a conversation with myself. Okay, yeah, your business isn't where it needs to be, but what about this? And I ask myself really good questions. What is the divine trying to tell me by my business not taking off as fast as I need it to? Is there a part of me that is blocking the flow of my business taking off the way I want it to? Or is there something like a belief that I have that says there has to be a lag time or it's going to have to take a long time for this to really come through because that's the way it's always been? And so you just start to ask yourself good questions. I was doing that last night, and I'll be honest with you, it wasn't getting the job done. So I did what I don't usually do, because usually the reframing and asking myself questions in bed, obviously silently, because I don't want to wake up my husband and have a conversation out loud with myself when he's sleeping. is I got out of bed. I was just like, this is not going away on its own. So I am going to go upstairs to my office, to my meditation space, and I'm going to journal this out. I'm going to write out all the crap that I have in my head, all of the things that I'm worrying about, all of the things that I am pissed off about. And I am going to just take the time I need so that I can actually clear it out, get it out, and then go back to sleep. Okay. So this was at 1:30 in the morning. Yeah. Anyways, 1:30 in the morning, I get myself out of bed, wrap myself up in a robe, and I come upstairs to this beautiful space that I'm in right now. And I sit down with my journal and begin to write out all the things that I'm pissed off about, all the things that aren't going right. I'm putting it all out and down on paper, getting it out of me. And it really worked because then the conversation started to change as I was writing. It started to shift into more curiosity, confusion and curiosity. And then it would say, oh, but look at this pattern. This is almost repeating itself. And I could really allow myself to step back and put it all out there so that I could see it more clearly. And when I saw it more clearly, I was able to then start to reframe it, which is usually what I do in bed, but it just wasn't happening last night. So I let myself really reframe how I was seeing this. Why is this happening like this? Is there a message for me? What do I need to know? What do I need to learn? And the really curious thing for me last night was that I've already done all the things. I've already put in all of the puzzle pieces into alignment, and now it's allowing. Simply allowing. And I thought I was already doing that, but obviously there was something in the way, and because it wasn't producing any results. And so now it's like, okay, now I'm reframing it. And so I wrote down all the reframes and I wrote down all the things that I did to help my mind get back into its true identity. Okay, because when you are in pity party, it's totally fine to be there, but don't live there. You can absolutely have fun and just get it all out. You know, when you're out and you're not sleeping and it's just the middle of the day, you can just have a freak out mode, 2 minutes of pity party, and then you can get back onto what you need to be doing. But it helps you reframe, helps you reshift your focus into who you want to be. Because at every moment, you get to decide who you are showing up as. And I did not want to continue to live in that pity party of why me? Why isn't it working for me? Because honestly, there are so many good things that are working for me right now. I get to do these amazing conversations with you every week, twice a week. I get to write out my emails and have wonderful communication via email. I get to spend time with my kids. I get to have my house renovations start to really take form. I have so much abundance all around me. So I need to focus on those things instead of what's not focusing on abundance right now. And when that part that's not financially abundant for me yet, I can imagine what it's like when it's already here, as if it's true already, and let myself really envelop that. Oh, and it feels so good to really luxuriate in the idea of what is it going to be like once it's here, because the snapshot of my life right now is not what my life is always going to be. That's a big human flaw. We look at our lives right now in this moment and we say, this isn't working. And we're frustrated as if it's always going to be that way. It doesn't have to always be that way. And in this field of spirituality and universal field of awareness and consciousness, things can shift like that. In a moment, things can shift. In a week, huge changes can come into your life when you are attuned to what kind of energy you're pulling in and sending out, right? Okay, so let's get back down to the basics. If you are waking up in the middle of the night, try and just reframe your brain while you're laying there. Ask it better questions. If that doesn't work, sometimes you actually do need to get out of bed and allow yourself to write it out. change the scene so that you're not frustrated, not sleeping in bed. You are opening yourself up to possibilities. You're clearing out the junk, the mind trash, by writing it into your journal. And you can allow yourself to change the setting so now you're being productive in the middle of the night and you are getting out that which is no longer serving you. Okay. Next, what I did after I journaled is I said, you know what? Am I going to go back to bed or am I going to go and meditate? And my highest self said, you need to meditate. Here it is, 2:30 in the morning. I don't even know what time it is. And I'm meditating right here at this gorgeous altar. And I sit down and it's like it's all becoming clear. It's all becoming clear to me in the midst of the darkest night, in the midst of all the quiet of the night and of this house. I called in the energy that I needed to guide me. And that wouldn't have been there if I would have just come upstairs from my state of stress in bed and come down to sit and meditate. What I needed to do was clear out some junk first. Then meditation was so productive and fluid and easy and just what I needed to do and be and hear. I received the messages from my guides, from my from the divine mother who I commune with, my ancestors. They were all there cheering me on, saying, yes, yes, you're on the right path. Allow yourself to be. You've already done it all. And now it's just living in the beingness of love. And before I wrapped it all up, I have to say, I said, is there anything else that I need to know? And I think that's a great question that you can always ask at the end of your meditations. Is there anything else I need to know? And you can ask this to your highest self. You can ask this to the divine, to your angels, to your guides, whomever you're in communication with. Is there anything else you need me to know? And she said, yes. Sit here and open to receive love, our love. And I think we all sometimes need to do this. We need to just sit and open our hearts to receive the divine love that is all around us. And when we can receive that, then we can fill ourselves up and more easily give that love out to the universe. And when we send out love, we receive love back in, because that's how our energy field works. Whatever you send out, it is reflected back to you. And so just for right now, whoever is listening, watching this, whatever time you are listening to this, take a moment to close your eyes, to feel your feet on the ground, your sit bones, whatever you're sitting on, or just you're standing anchored down into the earth. Let the shoulders relax a little bit more. And take a deep breath into the heart space. And imagine the doors of the heart opening. Almost as if there's like 360 degrees of garage doors that you can slide open. Everywhere open around your heart. And receive this divine love that is all around us, that is absolutely abundant. Fill yourself with it. And remember, it is there with you always. Because this is the true field of the universe that we live in. This is the essence, the quality that connects all things. This is the basic energy. It's love. It keeps us in connection with each other. It helps us look beyond the things that make us different and taps us into how we are also deeply intertwined. We are individual and we are connected in the multiplicity of everything, all at the same time, with no contradiction. We are one and we are many. We are many and we are one. And after I was able to do that, then I was able to go back to bed. And to be honest, I thought I was going to fall asleep so fast. Oof, did not. But I did lay some crystals on me, on my forehead, one on my heart, one on my belly. And I just allowed their energy to continue to help me absorb the shift that I was able to facilitate in the middle of the night. And then allowing yourself just to rest. And I wanted to just focus on my breath because there was so much cool stuff that happened that I was actually thinking about the experience in the middle of the night of how I was able to process this, that my mind wanted to race. And so I said, no, it's okay, mind. We will process this as we sleep. Let's focus on the breath. And sometimes just breathing doesn't quite do it enough for me. So the last tip I have for you is to use a mantra when you really want to focus on your breath in the middle of the night to help you lull into a smooth sense of sleep. All I did was inhale so and exhale hum. And it's an internal mantra. It's not vocalized, it's internal. So you hear a long so, almost as if the voice is whispering it itself, and a hum with the exhale. And it lasts the whole breath. Magically, it just resonates perfectly with the inhale and the exhale. So hum. In Sanskrit, it means I am that I am. I'm everything I need to be. I don't have to change. And the best thing that came out of my head and my heart last night was you don't have to be a perfect human to be a perfect soul. This path of perfection is one that I've walked for a long time, and it doesn't serve my human self to try to be perfect anymore. Throwing the rule book out, and I don't have to be a perfect human to be a perfect soul. My soul is perfect and divine and just right as it is. And that's what emanates out of my imperfect humanness. And that, if I'm resonating with my highest self, my divine self, my soul, and that's what's coming out, then all things are just the way they should be in my imperfect humanness. And so you can rest, you can let go of the stress and let yourself be who you are right now, with the level of consciousness you have right now. You are evolving, my dear sister, my dear brother. You are evolving. And at every level of that evolution, appreciate and love your divinity. Appreciate and love your imperfect humanness. You're showing up the best you can with what you've got. And that's all you need to do right now. Because your best is always going to keep getting a little bit better because you know that you want more out of life. You know that you want to serve and love on humanity. You know you want to be part of the solution. You don't want to be part of the problem. You want to be the change. And so you already are, my friend. You already are the change that the world so desperately needs. And if you want to get even more intentional with how you're showing up, that's when a spiritual guide and a coach can come in so handy. I live this work. I breathe it. I practice it with my children, with my spouse, with my family, with everyone I know, wherever I am. My practices are with me. I am taking this into my everyday life, and I am not a Swami. I am not a guru sitting on a mountaintop. I am a humble woman in the middle of the mountains in Colorado, living in my house, doing the things, taking kids to school, making dinner, and getting through normal life, just like you are. But I'm doing it from an elevated place, and it is so great. So great. And I want to share that with you. That's what you want. That's what you're looking for, is to live your life from a higher perspective, a bigger perspective. And that's what working with me can help you with. If that excites the hell out of you, schedule a call. I love talking with women who are so aligned with who they are, and they know there's more alignment available to them, right? You are already doing such good things. You're already heart-centered, and you know there's more. And I can help you access that more. So it's mindyarbuckle.com/talk. Super simple, super easy. mindyarbuckle.com/talk. It'll take you to my schedule page. Book in an hour for you that you can really focus on you. Focus on the areas that are really working well in your life and the places where you have room for improvement. And we'll make a game plan of how you can get from where you are today to where your heart desires you to be. Aligning your human self and your divine self creates insane magic in life. And it looks totally normal, and it's totally not normal at the same time. I just want to say that out there to you. So I love you all. I can't wait to talk with you. Leave your distinctions. If you're watching this, tell me what really made sense to you and what you're going to take away from this, because these videos are amazing. But if you don't actually share the love and you don't write out what really hit home for you, your biggest distinctions, top 1, 2, or 3 things that you're taking away, they tend to fade and lose their emphasis and their power. And I want you to maintain your own internal power through remembering who you are. So write down your distinctions, share the love, and I can't wait to talk to you again later this week. Mwah. All my love to you.